What's up, everybody? Clinton Foshee here, and
I'm Albert Chavez.
And this is Front Porch Chronicles. And this week, bro, it's going down in Miami, UFC 299. One of the, if not best, UFC cards, top to bottom, maybe in UFC history.
Yeah, dude, and they're saying UFC 300 is supposed to be better. I don't know how they're going to top it off.
I'm
main card and the early card is...
It's UFC, bro. It's UFC 299, and it's in Miami. You can't... I say you can't beat it, but hey, whatever. Everybody, potato. Everybody has their opinion. I think it's one of the best.
Right. We're going to go over the whole card today, but let's give a little bit of access. You're actually in Austin right now with RDA. How's he looking?
Yeah, man, he actually flew out yesterday down to Miami, him and the coaches. I'll be flying out there Thursday. I stayed back to handle some things. But, man, he is looking really good. I was joking with him the other day. I was doing some videos for him, and I was laughing. I said, man, I'm a dad, a real estate agent. Now I'm a videographer. Look, do something strange for a little bit of change. I guess with all these kids and child supports, I gotta do what I gotta do. But it was. I love it just because it allows me to be part of the process with him, and kind of give him all of the support that he needs, because I laugh with him all the time and tell him, it wouldn't matter what he was, a fighter, a carpenter, or whatever. His work ethic and just the man that he is why I love him as my brother and treat him as such. But man, I told him the other day, I was laughing. I said, bro, you look like a little Brazilian Mike Tyson. He is in peak shape. And man, I looked on there the other day. I saw he's like a minus 275 underdog. And the disrespect is crazy to me. You're talking about a first ballot, and he hates when I say this, but first ballot Hall of Fame fighter, 15 years. There's nobody around that's competing at the level that he is for this time. And the reason is because of his work ethic, his planning, and everything else. So I think personally, a lot of people are going to be shocked, but the people that truly know RDA and love him, we're really not going to be shocked, because we know what he's capable of doing, and it will go down at UFC 299 in Miami.
Well, you're seeing everything behind the scenes. You see him training with some of the best grapplers in the game right now in jiu-jitsu. He's always had this work ethic and strength. He's been a UFC champion. Like that says enough about him and how long he's been able to do it. Most cage time in all of UFC history. He's got the experience underneath his belt. It's just interesting that people just write him off like that. I know Gamrot is a certified, fighter, but come on now. Like, what are we doing?
Well, I think, I'll give you a little bit of perspective. And I talked to somebody about this the other day. I think the perception is, Hoffa had problems with Covington. He had problems with Usman, and it was with the grappling side of it. And, he is the most non-ego person that I've ever met. And so going into this camp, he really stepped outside. Somebody told me, oh, you can't teach, Gamrot's going to grapple him, and you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And, I get that breakdown of it's harder when you get a little bit older, you get set in your ways. Think about it, our grandparents and everything. you get set in your ways and trains of thought, but he's completely not like that. And so he stepped into B team, which for somebody of his caliber, you're stepping into a lion's den. I mean, you're talking about, they went 3 for 3 the other day at the UFC grappling event. I mean, you got guys like Nicky Ryan, and of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Craig Jones. And Hoffa stepped in there, man, into the lion's den. And it's funny because a lot of people behind the scenes with B Team, they're like, oh, they're jokesters, and they say all of these funny things, and they're so absurd. But man, these dudes take it. When you go into their gym, man, they got cameras set up everywhere. They're constantly breaking down film. The level of smartness for them to go in and break down the grappling side of it is next level. So the people that think, oh, they just, they just aren't serious about this, they're very serious. They're just very outspoken, which for me, I would much rather somebody be straight up and say what they mean and mean what they say, and let's laugh and joke and play, than constantly be serious. But back to Hoffa, man, he stepped in there. He's been training with all of these guys, and that's tough, for most guys are egotistical and don't want to step outside their comfort zone. He stepped in there, and I mean, even since, I was out here with him back in November for Thanksgiving, November, December. I mean, the difference between his takedown defense between now and then is night and day. So again, people have the perception of he's going to get out grappled, yada, yada, yada. I don't personally see it happen. And if Gamrot tries to stand and bang with him, it's going to be a long, or should I say early nighttime for him, because he will get put to sleep.
I know we're usually seeing Hoff in the 5-round games. Do you think this fight being a 3-round, is that going to impact him? Do you think he's going to attack him off the bat? I know he has.
I'll say this. On his side, it's going to be all gas, no break. He told me this out of his mouth. The one thing that he wants more than anything is to remind people what he is and who he is, and it's going to be a banger. He said that out of his mouth, so it's going down. I'm telling you now.
Well, you sent me some photos and some videos of what he's doing behind the work, and I was like, dude, he looks 10 years young. He looks like the picture that they have for him. He looks like he's 10 years younger in there, and it's incredible to watch, because you see this like revitalization of like who he is, and it seems like he's even speaking it in his mind too. Like he's got something to showcase to people, and it's good. It's probably good that he's an underdog, because
he's had some lingering health issues that I'm not going to really go into. He had some lingering health issues in the past that have all been healed up. He took the time to heal them up and get all of those things taken care of. And again, like I said, I've known him for a really long time. I don't think I've ever seen him in the shape that he's in. And I think, again, I think it's going to be, speaking it into existence. I know it's going to be a dub. I have no doubts.
How do you think it's going to end?
I think he's going to stuff Gamrot. I think Gamrot's going to come out. I think he's going to out grapple. I think he's quickly going to see that the takedown defense is altered. I think he's quickly going to see that the game has changed for Hoffa in that arena. And I will call a leg kick TKO. I'm going to call it now.
Okay. Well, I'm excited for it. They're going to be there in Miami this Saturday. Holy crap, man. It's been talked about for so long, and I know you guys are going to stay strictly business, but hopefully you guys can enjoy some time after there too.
It'll be. I think I said we'll have our celebratory meal afterwards. So I fly out early back that Sunday morning, but I'm looking forward to being there and supporting him. I couldn't ask for a better friend. He's a man of God. We're brothers in Christ and in life, and I couldn't ask for a better person to be aligned with.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I mean, the main event card is going to be just as exciting too. We have CHITO versus SUGA Sean O'Malley Part 2.
Part
So,
2. Dub.
okay, I don't know if you've been seeing it on Twitter. I don't have one yet, but I've been watching and reading. SUGA's been saying he's undefeated.
Everybody, first of all, I need you guys to comment down below. Tell Albert to get an X, Twitter, bird out, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, we're even going to take, we'll tell you this, whatever name, the first 10 names that pop up down below, we're going to pick from a hat one of those names that is going to be Albert's Twitter name. So everybody be the first, get in the first 10. So
right.
yeah, but the card is going to be stacked.
Oh, 100%. I'm excited for it. And yeah, if we can get some pretty cool names, then I'll consider getting it.
We already signed on the dotted line, bro. You're done. It's a done deal. You nodded your head yes. I've got video confirmation. Per the law, you are legally binded to whatever the first 10 names in, we're putting in a hat and I'm drawing. That name will be your name.
We'll
you better hope it's not butt juice or some absurdness.
Well, you know the internet is unhinged with this.
Unrelenting.
We'll have to do a little thing for it when the time comes afterwards. So, but make sure to comment about who you think RDA, how RDA is going to finish Gamrot this week. I'm excited to see it. And so with SUGA and with CHITO, this is part 2. SUGA's been saying on Twitter, on X, that he's undefeated. He actually got reported for it. They said that this is misinformation.
Cap.
Yeah. You think it's obviously you like his comp.
Nobody likes to take a dub, but right. Man up, bro. Like my thing is, you know what I mean? I've taken a lot of losses. I've taken a lot of dubs. Until you can learn to take the L, you can't accept the dub. So like, no, you got a loss. And it's crazy. People are like, oh, he was hurt. Bro, this is the fight game. People are hurt. If you're not hurt, something probably is wrong. You're not training something right. Like they constantly are hurt.
Well, he got hurt in the match because he got kicked the right way. Like that's.
Well, he's saying, and people are saying that he was hurt leading up to it again. Whatever. Take the L, bro. Like, take it like a man. Like,
I mean, saw the fight. Like, he was attacking CHITO off the bat. It was only like a couple of minutes into the fight, but you saw that he was being aggressive. And then once he got that one kick, it's something changed.
CHITO beat him, bro. There's no. Again, he can break it down in whatever way that he wants to. You took an L, cool. Come back with it, and bring the funk, or don't, and get put to sleep. Either way, you still got one loss.
Yeah.
So, I'm curious to see, when somebody's in denial like that, it's always weird because it's like, do they really believe that? Because they think they're better, or are they trying to make excuses for what's to come? So, he's been putting out some press. People have been putting out some press saying CHITO's been having a bad fight camp and yada, yada, yada. But again, man, it's crazy to me because the fight game has gone from the fight game to Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
And who can talk about whose family or who can do this or who can do that. And at the end of the day, it's a fight. You can say what you want, but nobody can get in there with you. This isn't WWE. This isn't a tag team match. You got to get in there and fight. I personally think CHITO is inside his head, Sugar Sean. And the fact that he's coming out with this no loss, whatever, kind of leads me to that as well. And so I think personally, CHITO beats him again. It's tough to beat somebody twice, but I think CHITO beats him again.
Yeah, I think this is going to go the full 5 rounds. I think it's going to be
100%.
They're either going to be scared to like not get knocked out, because this is his first title defense too. So I'm interested to see how aggressive he is. But I think they're going to square up with each other and just go after each other, and then
I think it might be a snooze fest to begin. I think both of them have been talking and jawing back and forth, and when there's all this hype, think about every fight, whether it be boxing, MMA, or whatever. When there's all this hype to, it's going to be a banger, it's going to be absolutely insane, and then there's like 3 rounds of them dancing and, we're trying to fill each other out, maybe a little bit of grappling, whatever. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a snooze fest early. But I think CHITO. What are you feeling?
I'm going the opposite way. I think I'm going for Sugar. I know he's been talking all this game, but the way that he's carrying himself, he's just got this energy, man. I think it's either gonna be a snooze fest or gonna rock the boat back and forth. I'm not sure. So it's you'll know within the first minute or two how it's gonna go, because again, this is time like defending the title. And I know CHITO he's relentless. He's an Orange County person. I learned that too. I didn't know that he was in Irvine.
Dude, he lives like 5 minutes from the office, maybe 7.
Yeah, so I didn't realize how close he was, but it seems like he's very family oriented. But I think Sugar's gonna get a nice hook a few times and finish him at the end. It's gonna go the full 5 rounds, but we'll see how
CHITO's gonna try to ride the fight out as long as possible because his cardio, and he's very overwhelming, suffocating. I think he's gonna try to do that with Sean. If he tries to bang or strike, Sean has a huge advantage. But I think CHITO can wear him out. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to live up to the hype, but we'll see. So, taking it now to the next one, Poirier versus Benoit Saint-Denis. I know Benoit is a younger fighter. He's got this cool story. He's definitely
military. Yeah.
Yeah. And Poirier, he's just a legend. He's been in the game for so long. Who do you got on this card?
It's funny. I already had this in mind, what I'm going to say, but after I read it this morning, I think I read something on Twitter where he said that he was at the back end of his career. I think BSD, I think he knocks him out. And I don't know if Poirier comes back.
Poirier's the underdog, too, in this one. I was surprised about.
I think, but he's stuck in, for me, the diversity of his game hasn't been there. I think he is a banger, and that's cool. But also, when you're a banger, you flip the coin, and you either knock out or get knocked out. He has been on the better end of the knockouts, but also age, mileage, and all of that stuff. So I think BSD is more well-rounded. I think he's more hungry. I think when I read that article, it really gave me a vibe that Poirier is ready to be done. And I think he finds that this weekend.
Well, I noticed even in the press conferences, he's like, I'm going to knock him out. But there was no, like, conviction of it, Like, it was, like, kind of forcing it. So
I think he's ready to go back to selling hot sauce full time, and I think he's ready. I think I think he's ready to get out of the fight game. Like I said, I think he's checked out. And don't get me wrong, no disrespect. Dustin Poirier has been a stable in the UFC. He has had some legendary fights. Not many people can say that they dominated and not just beat, but dominated Conor McGregor not once, but twice. He did that. But again, I think he's on the back end of his career. And I think being a stand-up banger is not a path to longevity. And once you get that a concussion or a knockout, they start rolling and becoming easier and easier to get. So when he does get knocked out, I hope he really looks at being done.
yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see because this is a 5-rounder too. This is a main event now. BSD is he has a lot to prove. He's definitely younger and on the come up. I'm just wondering if he's gonna get gassed out in those last two rounds.
I don't think it goes that far.
You think it ends? Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah.
He's gonna come in. I think he's an older guy like me, and I think when we get in there, it's like, you know what, I'm not diverse like him. I'm kind of more so like, hey, what's up? Somebody's getting knocked out today. Let's go ahead and get this thing over with. Let's stand toe to toe, and let's get this over with. I think I would be surprised if it ends the second round.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's a hot take here, man. You have BSD in round 2 by knockout. Whew. Yeah.
RDA by high kick round 3.
Yeah.
I'm coming with that funk today.
Excited for that one too. Yeah, dude.
What do you got? What do you got?
The more I'm thinking about it, I had Poirier at first, but I think BSD is just he's bigger. He just looks like a killer. He looks like he's been there. He's very well trained. He's got his mindset right. And the more I'm thinking about it and watching Poirier kind of work through this week, mindset's huge. You tell me all the time in the fight game, it is crucial. If you are not in there, if you're not up to the fight,
it's funny looking back now, the things that I've told you about, you can almost see during that week leading up, you can see where it's going to go. Like,
yeah.
And I might be wrong, but I think right now he's flipping a coin on whether he gets knocked out or knocks him out.
And if you're going to flip a coin, then that might be why you're wrong, because he just gets a punch.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So this next one, this is the third event. I think this one's interesting with MVP and Holland. I've been watching MVP work, and this is his first UFC event, so there's going to be a little bit of nerves here. But man,
dude, MVP looks like a flailing baby, but looks graceful at the same time.
Dude, his leg kicks, man, he's knocking people. I wouldn't even know what to do.
Insane.
He's ready to move. He's like dancing out there. He's like, this is my time. And then he just like whiplash someone. It's crazy what he does.
Yeah. So with this one, I think it's going to be all gas, no break. I don't foresee this one going very long. Somebody is getting knocked out somewhere. I was a huge Kevin Holland fan. I see you laughing. You already know the story I'm coming with. Rafinha yesterday was laughing about it too. I was a huge Kevin Holland fan until I met him at the Apex for Hoffa's fight, and I asked him for a photo. He kind of was disrespectful. Was like, "Oh, I got this to do," and yada yada yada. And I'm like, "Bro, it's not a major arena. We're sitting right there, like." Come on, man. And so ever since then, I kind of have been like, you know what, I don't know how much of a fan I am. So looking at the tape, I think this is going to be a flip of the coin, to be honest, because both of these guys are so unpredictable and so quick, so fast, and so strong. But I'm going MVP.
Is that with all things aside, do you think MVP's?
You know what? I don't do things like that. You know, I'm a little bit petty. Well, a bit petty. It's okay. I've come to grips with that. So, I think looking at the fight, I think it's a flip of the coin, to be honest. But I'm gonna go MVP just because Holland didn't take the picture with your boy. You know what I mean?
By leg kick, or what do you think?
I think it. I think it is going to be an elbow.
An elbow, yeah.
I think coming off the cage, I think he's gonna catch him with the elbow.
I have no idea how it's gonna go. I think because this is his first UFC event. He's either gonna show up or get punked. So he might freeze out there. But it seems like all the confidence that he has and like the swagger, I feel like he's gonna bring it. It's just, is Kevin gonna actually take advantage of that confidence and make him pay for it? I have no idea. So I think I'm gonna go MVP on this one. I think his youthfulness is gonna get the better of him, and Holland's just taking so many punches, and he's admirable in taking these short notice fights because he wants to make. He's entertaining, right? But I think it's gonna catch up to him one day or another, and I think this is it for this weekend.
Great pick. And next time Holland take the picture with your boy, you can get my vote back. It's easy, bro. It's easy.
Yeah. So I think this one is going to be a banger for sure. They're going to
go. This one, the other one, I said they're going to try to fill each other out and kind of see what. This one, all gas, no brakes, 100%.
Now this one, I have the most questions about. We were kind of talking a little bit beforehand, but with Gilbert Burns, I know he's this Brazilian beast, man. He's an insane grappler with jiu-jitsu, and he's facing a younger Jack Della Maddalena, and
ooh, bro, you popped up Della Maddalena. I can't even say you popped that off like you knew what was going. How many times did you practice it? Tell the truth.
Twice.
Bro, there's some names I just can't say. I have to say really slow. We were doing Hoffa's video the other day, and I was trying to say Khabib's name. I cannot say Nurmagomedov. I can't. I try to say it really fast so that you don't notice. I can't say it, or try to pitch in the Southern accent so that you don't know. But going into this one, I think Jack, and I'm not going to try to axe up his last name. I think Jack going in, I think he's a tremendous, very powerful striker. I think Gilbert Burns isn't striking wise. I would give Jack the definite advantage in striking. If Gilbert is smart, he would use the grappling game and mix in takedowns, all of that, and overwhelm him. If he stands with him, I think it's probably going to be a bad day for Gilbert.
Yeah, I think so too. It's he's getting up there in age, man, and I know they're trying to hype Jack up a little bit more as he continues down his UFC career, but I got to stick with Gilbert on this one. For some reason, I just think he's just going to dominate him on the ground. It's going to be a close matchup for sure. I think Jack's going to keep him up on the ground, and that'll wear and tear on Gilbert, as he ages. But I think down the line, he's going to slow it down and just the last
experience. I think it's going to come down to experience. I think you hit the nail on the head, and the wild card is the experience. And when you've been there, you've done that. Gilbert's had the major fights. He's done all of that. I think the experience that he has is going to allow him to dictate a lot of things. And so I'm going Gilbert. Who you got?
I got Gilbert as well, man.
Uh,
I think the last round's going to be slow. I think he's going to just pin him against the cage, and that's how it ends. It's going to be decision-based, and hopefully he can get a submission here, but I think it's going to get a split decision.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to go the distance, and I got Gilbert. I think Gilbert knows enough to get the points where he needs to get the points and keep the fight on the ground, or counter striking when he needs to get the points.
Yeah, it's going to be an epic weekend. Who do you think is going to be the most exciting fight this weekend? It's a good card, man. There's so many,
I think the MVP Holland is going to be the most exciting fight on the card. I think because of the athleticism and the speed of both of these guys and the unpredictability of both of these guys, I think it is going to be that. What do you think?
I mean, the most hype one is going to be the O'Malley CHITO, just because O'Malley's fan base is huge. And so this one's interesting since there's so many people on there. He might actually not have the home field advantage. I mean, CHITO's Latino, and they're in Miami, so maybe there'll be a lot of Latino fighters or Latino supporters in there. But if it was at any other place in any other card, I think O'Malley would just have so many fans there. And I think he would ride that high. But I think the Holland fight is definitely going to be the most action-packed because they're going to be going back and forth and just dishing out blows. And we'll see a couple of spinning kicks, I'm sure, from MVP for sure. He's going to
kicks, elbows. There's going to be a lot of spinning, period.
Yeah.
That one. What do you have is the biggest surprise? What do you think is going to be the biggest surprise of the night or fighter?
I think it's going to be the co-main with Poirier and Benoit Saint-Denis. I think BSD is going to show out and just knock him out really easily. But I think Poirier is going to give one last little hurrah.
Hoorah. Yeah.
I think it's going to go back to be one side, and it's going to feel like it's shifting, and then just finish him out. I think that one's going to be the most surprising. And there's so many other people too. There's like Peter Yan, he's fighting on the card too. Like it's ridiculous. Like they did an amazing event in Miami this week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to being down there. I'll get a lot of content, photos, videos of everything while I'm down there. And so we're looking forward to it. You guys let us know down in the comments below. And we know the trolls are coming already. You know, Albert, I told you before we got into this, whenever we started dabbing into MMA, fans are the most relentless. You thought it was college football. You thought it was the NFL. MMA fans, so the trolls will, and let me show y'all, I got the mullet looking extra nice because the haters love to comment. I even got a fresh cut for all of the haters. But you guys, let us know down in the comments below who you have winning the fights and what Albert's Twitter name should be. But we got RDA coming on next week to talk about it post-fight with us. I'm looking forward to that. And guys, we are going to Miami. We will see you next week. Have a great rest of your week. And follow Front Porch Chronicles for all your MMA talk.